Turn that volume up. You know you want it. It's time for Women's Basketball TV with former NCAA champion, WNBA champion, business mogul, and national TV personality, Fran Harris.
All right, Hoop fam, it's time to get back to work. I've enjoyed my time away from YouTube and vacationing and family and all that good stuff, but this is about to be the best part of the season for women's basketball, and I'm excited that we are all going to ratchet up a little bit. Today I watched the Texas versus West Virginia game. It's never easy, let me tell you. I have been to West Virginia for many years when I was on staff at Texas and doing games for whether it was ESPN or Fox. Been in that gym, and West Virginia is always tough. Always super, super rugged, super, super competitive. Doesn't matter who the coach is. That team is always tough. I mean, seriously, Mountaineers is the best logo and the best, mascot. They are always tough. So props to them. Texas did win today in that game. And I'm doing a quick little Texas roundup because to me, it's not as impressive to know where you are unless you know where you have been. And for Texas to be playing without All-America point guard Rory Harmon and just literally stepping into it, easing into conference play, got a loss in the opening game against Baylor, tough game against Baylor at Texas in the Moody Center, and then beating Texas Tech like they weren't even there, and then going into, and that was at Texas Tech. Now, I played many games in my career at Texas Tech, and we never lost to Texas Tech, but it was always tough playing in Lubbock. Just like our team had to go in there and like punch first and come out with the win. Same thing going into West Virginia. It ain't never going to be easy going into West Virginia. Very, very tough place to play. And I thought Texas did a really good job. Again, let's talk about from whence Texas has come, having to play without Rory Harmon. You're talking about double figures, leading the nation, like I think in assists at that time, getting rebounds. I mean, assist to turnover ratio leading. I think that's what she was leading the nation in. I don't have that in front of me. But y'all know Rory Harmon was a straight up baller. So having her out for the season with a torn ACL, for those of you who are just not joining the program, Rory Harmon did tear her ACL week before last, and has not been able is not going to be able to play for the rest of this season. So what do you do when your top point guard goes out? When you're only point guard? Because let's keep it a buck. Rory played 40 minutes most games. She didn't have she may have played she may have sat down 2 minutes at the end of the first quarter sometimes, but for the most part, if Texas was playing, Rory was on the court. And so what do you do when you take All-American out of your lineup? You adjust. If you're a Warrior, you adjust. Nobody likes playing without the people that brought him there. Texas was great because of what Rory Harmon brought to the table. Nobody questions that. And having played on a team, I played on a team at Texas that lost 3 or 4 people to ACL in a matter of 2 years. It ain't easy. It's devastating mentally to lose teammates, and not just to lose teammates, to lose people you go on to battle with, your sisters, people you care about. You love these people, and then they go down. You're looking at them like, I can't even believe this is happening. You don't see your reality without those people on the court with you. So there's an adjustment period. And I'm going to give Texas props for just stepping in, like stepping into a smooth jump shot. You got to roll. You have to keep going. No matter how devastating and how difficult it is, you have to keep going. And I got to say, I didn't know what Vic was going to do. Vic Schaefer, coach at Texas, was going to do about the absence of Rory Harmon. Obviously, he's got to keep going too, but was he going to try to play Shaylee Gonzalez there? Was he going to try to get Giselle ready, who was coming off an ACL? What was he going to do? I knew Madison Booker was going to be in the mix, but I didn't think Madison Booker was going to be playing point guard full time.
And you got a really special freshman, right? Y'all had a chance to see today one of the best freshmen in the country, and she's having to do so much for our team right now, and she's doing it, y'all. Like, she's doing it, and she's not – she ain't taking 33 shots and making 10 of them. She's shooting it at at a pretty good percentage. She took 7, was 4 for 7, 7 out of 8 line, gets 12 rebounds, 7 assists, and she's running my team and handling that press.
And that's exactly what this freshman is doing for Texas, playing full-time point guard. And we're seeing the greatness of Madison Booker. This is why Vic Schaefer recruited her. This is why she committed early. She knew that he believed in her. He knew that she believed in him. And so what we're seeing with her now is just her stepping into who she is. I remember watching Madison Booker when Rory was actually playing, and Rory was doing her thing as a point guard, and they were like a 1-2 punch or whatever. But I also felt like Madison Booker was holding back. I also felt like she was kind of holding back. And sometimes you do that when you play with great players. You want to be a team player. You want to not take all the shots. You want to whatever. But I found myself before Rory was hurt saying Madison Booker needs to shoot more. She needed to shoot that shot. She's passing too much. Well, she ain't passing too much now. Not at all. Booker is shooting. She understands she has to be a threat on the floor. She understands that if Texas is going to be successful, she cannot pass up shots. And what that means, basketball students, is that sometimes she's got to take ill-advised shots. I saw her take a couple of shots today. I was personally not thrilled that she was taking them, but I understood why she took them. I understood she has to take that shot. Now, her shot selection will get better. Her shot selection will get better. I once had a coach say to me, I was like, hey, I'm sorry I took that shot. I know it wasn't a great shot. And my coach said, well, I'd rather have you take that shot than the alternatives. And that always stuck with me. That meant that my coach wanted, I'll take a bad shot from you than somebody else shooting the shot who really shouldn't be shooting, who hasn't shot thousands of shots in practice to be able to take that bad shot. And I understood that. And that's what I believe about Madison Booker. She's going to take some shots that look like they're bad shots to some of y'all. But those are shots she has to take. Because when the game gets on the line, Madison Booker cannot question Madison Booker shots. That's a mentality of playing at the championship level. You cannot question, as the season goes on, you can't question the decisions that you make, because then you start making bad decisions. You just have to get into the habit of making great decisions. So let's jump into the stats. Madison Booker had a great line today for Texas. I'll see if I can find that here. I was looking at the press conference here. Madison Booker had 15 points, grabbed a season-high 12 rebounds for her first collegiate double-double, and she added 7 assists. Bright spot for Texas, Aaliyah Moore. Y'all will remember, on track to be an All-American for Texas last year, tore her ACL last year. And that was a huge loss, because here's what Aaliyah Moore, and I don't have to do a video on Aaliyah Moore. Here's what Aaliyah Moore brought to Texas last year. Post player, who's a bona fide post player. She ran the floor pretty well, rebounded extremely well, but she was an effort player, an emotional player, right? So AMO is what they call her. Like, Texas needed her. Texas needed her today. So now she's getting more playing time, obviously, as Vic has to kind of shift around who he's playing where without Rory in the lineup. But that was a big loss for Texas last year. Shaylee Gonzalez had 15 points today, 3 field goals made. She had 6. She made 6, 3 out of 6. Played 40 minutes. Madison Booker played 40 minutes. Aaliyah Moore played 14 minutes. That'll go up probably to 20 something as we get further into conference play. Amina Muhammad has really improved. Number 14 for Texas, really improved. Had 8 points. Played 19 minutes, some big minutes for Vic Schaefer. And then rounding it out, Taylor Jones was back. She had been out as well. So they got Taylor Jones back a little bit. She had a pretty good game. And Khadijah Fye is another 6'4 junior, got some good minutes. And of course, Shea Holly, the 6'0 junior, was pretty big for Texas on the defensive end. Texas used a 10-3 run in the second quarter to go up 37-22 and took a 37-25 lead into halftime. They came out strong in the second half with an 8-0 run and forced West Virginia to call timeout. Shea Holly scored on a jumper, was fouled. She hit the free throw, got the and one, put Texas up 45-25 at the 6:49 mark of the third quarter. And Texas really never looked back after that. So the Longhorns improved to 15-1 overall and 2-1 in Big 12 action. Texas becomes the first team to beat West Virginia this season. They were undefeated, along with Baylor and Texas. Those were the three, and TCU. Those were the four teams in the Big 12 that were undefeated. The Mountaineers came into the game 13-0. West Virginia came into the game scoring 81.8 points per game, and Texas held them to 49 points. The Longhorns made 8 of their first 10 shots in the game. Texas outscored West Virginia 17-7 in the third quarter. Texas held West Virginia to 9 points in the second quarter and 7 points in the third quarter. For the 11th time this season, the Longhorns shot 50% or better from the field as they shot 25 of 47 for 53%. Texas shot 17 of 19. That's 89.5% from the free throw line. They needed to get better at that. Glad they did for this game. The Longhorns held West Virginia to 16 of 60 from the field. That's a lot of shooting. 16 of 60 and 4 of 31 from three-point range for 12%. Texas scored 32 points in the paint and had 20 points from the bench. So it was a big game again for Texas on the road, and a big game for Madison Booker, who had an amazing game and will only get better, will this freshman. I already said this, in my top 5 of freshmen this year. Doesn't get a lot of shine, but people are going to be talking about Madison Booker at 6'1", 6'2", playing the point. Yeah, folks are going to be talking about it.
Thanks for tuning in to Women's Basketball TV with Fran Harris, the most provocative and entertaining women's basketball show on earth. Be sure to click that like, share, and notification button so you don't miss a moment. We'll see you tomorrow.